Today in our fruit salad, we're going to be using mango. These are champagne mangoes, and they're actually right in season around here now. We've got a lot of them. We're going to use some kiwi. We'll put in some strawberries, some little tangerine pieces, blueberries, and raspberries. Those are the main parts, the fruit parts that are going into this. And as we talked about in one of the earlier sessions, when you're making a salad, like a regular vegetable salad, you want to try and have lots of different colors, lots of different shapes, textures, and things to make it interesting. And all the different colors ensure that you're getting all the vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients that you need. And it's the same thing with fruit. So we've got all different colors here between the oranges, the red, the green, and the purple. So when you're choosing what to put, you might, so if you're being in different places in the country, you may have different fruit that you can use at different times. Just being aware of what you're putting in, try to pick some different colors, different flavors, different things you can cut into different shapes and different textures. So our mangoes, I'm going to start, I'll cut those first, and everything here has already been washed, and the things that I'm cutting have also been washed. So I know, we always think to cut up or to wash the things that we're going to be eating the skin of. That's something we do most often. But you also want to wash the things even if you're not eating the peel. Because when you cut them, like as I'm cutting into the mango, if there's pesticide, if there's dirt, anything that's on the outside, when you cut into it with the knife, that can go right into the part that you're eating. So something like fruit salad is so easy to make because you can just use whatever's available to you at the time. So whatever fruit is in season for you. I know in the winter and very early spring it's not quite as exciting usually in many places, but there seem to be always some things that you can put in that'll make it colorful, flavorful. Okay, we have our mango. So what I did just to cut the mango is I cut one side down, I cut little squares, lines in each direction. Then if you just kind of turn it inside out, it's really easy to cut the little pieces off. So we have little mango squares. Next we'll do the kiwi. So we've got the beautiful yellowish orange from the mango. And then we'll add the green of the kiwi fruit. And the kiwi fruit I'm going to cut into little half moons. So we have a little variety in the shape. If you've never had a kiwi fruit, these little beautiful little green fruit with black seeds. And they taste kind of like a combination of a pear and a banana, I've always thought. They have a little furry skin. So far our mango and our kiwi have a similar sort of consistency, so similar textures. Add some tangerine segments. I tend to like tangerines more for fruit salad than oranges often, just because they're easier to peel. And so the segments tend to come out a little bit nicer than you would, sometimes when you're peeling an orange, it can be a little bit messy. You end up digging your fingers into it when you're trying to peel it and pull it apart. So tangerines come apart a lot more easily. So I tend to use those more for fruit salads just because they are easier. Since the pieces are kind of big, I am going to slice them and cut them into smaller pieces. And this nice citrus is going to give a little burst to our fruit salad. The nice citrus flavor. It's a little bit stronger than the kiwi and the mango. So it'll give a bit more of a stronger flavor. You want to take off as much of that white as you can as you're putting it in. So now we have the nice yellow mango, the green kiwi fruit. We have our orange. I'm going to trade places so you can see that a little bit better. Oranges. Next we'll add some strawberries in. So we've got the red of the strawberry. These are beautiful. Since these aren't too big, some of them I'm just going to leave and make little circles with them. And then we're going to add in some blueberries. And then finally at the very end we're going to put in our raspberries. I left those for last so they don't get everything piled on top of them, since the raspberries are a little bit more delicate. I'm going to put those on top. And we'll mix it all up. So you can see everything that's in it. We have all these beautiful colors. We have our mango, kiwi, the oranges, the purple of the blueberries, and then the red from the strawberry and the raspberries. Okay, so now our fruit part is done. Looks beautiful. And but we don't want to leave it plain. We want to make it a little bit more exciting. So we're going to make a sauce to go on top of it. Now, oh, wait, there's one more thing I forgot. I don't want to forget. Because we talked earlier about different colors and different textures. So we have our fruit, and a lot of the fruit that we use today is a little bit on the softer side. I didn't use any apples or pears or anything like that that gets harder. So I do want to add some texture in, something that's a little bit crunchier. So what I'm going to do is clear this off. Since the texture is not coming from the fruit so much today, we're going to add in some walnuts. These walnuts have been soaked. Often people say, oh, I can't digest nuts, they're too hard on the body. And the main reason for that is because a lot of nuts contain enzyme inhibitors. When they're out in the wild, it's this natural protection. Makes it harder to digest, so that when they're out there, they're not sprouting at the wrong times. They're a little safer when it's out in the wild. So if you soak them, that gets rid of that enzyme inhibitor that's in it. Makes it easier on the body to digest. So I have soaked my walnuts, and you don't need to soak all nuts. Generally speaking, nuts that are lighter, like cashews, macadamia nuts, you don't need to soak. They don't contain that same enzyme inhibitor. Darker nuts do. So walnuts, almonds, hazelnuts, pecans, things like that. You want to soak for at least 6 hours or so, 5-6 hours. It's easy to do overnight. So you can just put it into a bowl with some water, cover them with water, soak them overnight. And then they're ready to be eaten, much easier on the body. And I'm going to add a few sunflower seeds as well for a little bit of crunch. And these are shelled sunflower seeds. They don't have the black shell on them still. I'll mix those in. And then we're going to make our sauce to go on top of our fruit. So we've got the fruit, we have the nuts and the seeds to give it a little bit more texture. Now we're going to make it a little bit more exciting. We're going to add a sauce to go on top of it. And we're going to make spiced cashew cream sauce today. So what I've done is I started with about 1/2 cup of cashews, and I did soak them this time. Now you don't need to soak them. They don't have that same enzyme inhibitor, so they're not too hard for the body to digest. But I did soak them because I wanted them to be creamy in our sauce. So I just soaked them, and they don't need to be soaked very long, just an hour or so. It gives a really great texture. It makes them blend really easily. So we've got the cashews and the Vitamix. And I want to make it a little bit more interesting than just cashews with water. Since they've been soaked, they do have some water in them already. And for the rest of the liquid, I'm going to use orange juice. So this is fresh squeezed orange juice. And it is about a half a cup. It's the juice of 2 oranges. We'll blend that in, and I think I'm going to add a little bit more water. Tiny bit more water in here, and I'm going to keep a little extra just in case we need it. We want it to be a little bit sweet, so today for sweetener for our sauce, I'm going to use dates. The dates have also been soaked, and dates don't really have to be soaked. There's no reason, you know, that you would have to soak them, but they do tend to blend a little bit better if they're softer. If you don't soak them and you put them in the blender, they will blend okay. You'll probably hear the sound as you're going, little dings of the date pieces as they hit the side. So to avoid that, I soaked them these have been soaked for about an hour as well. And I put 5 dates. And to make it a little bit spicy again, I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg. Just a dash of each. We don't want it to be overpowering. Just put a little bit of each in. And I'm going to start to blend, see what kind of a consistency we get. And then as you go, it's better usually to start with less liquid, because if you put too much, it's hard to use it up. Like if you start adding more and more cashews, it dilutes the flavor, and it's really hard to get that extra water out a lot of times. So start with less, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll turn this on for just a minute. Okay, now it's got a really nice thick consistency. And it's actually the consistency we want for our sauce, but it's not quite blending up as much as I want it to. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit more water. And the extra water is just to make it blend a little bit more easily. Okay, everything is blended together perfectly. Lid off. Kind of a spiced orange cashew cream. That will go on top of our fruit salad.